This next one, we're gonna keep it like a letterbox log. To be completely honest with you, we got two movies. We got two movies that came out. I'm just gonna wrap them into one. There's these streaming movies that come from people, actors, even directors that are big. But what's the point? I caught this one late last night because I saw that you had seen it. I was just gonna skip it, bro. The Union, the new Netflix movie starring Mark Wahlberg and Halle Berry that got together because the credits told you that they might have had a thing when they were younger, and now we gotta put up with a streaming movie. Zach, explain to the people what the heck this is.
I mean, aside from like the blandest, most run-of-the-mill kind of action comedy you can think of, The Union is a movie about Mark Wahlberg playing a New Jersey construction worker, taking the boy out of Boston for a little bit.
So goofy, bro.
And he goes suddenly from a regular guy to an aspiring spy as his long-lost high school sweetheart recruits him into an espionage mission.
No, say that again. Say that again. Say that again. Like, why is that the plot?
Why? Like, it's really, like, sometimes when these sort of regular guy gets thrust into a spy situation movies, it feels like it makes sense. It feels like, oh, well, they happen to be at the wrong place at the wrong time, or they do actually have a set of skills that would help them out here. There's one point late in the movie where Wahlberg runs around beams like he's a foreman or whatever. It's like, oh, he's using his construction worker superpowers. They finally kicked in. Aside from that, there's so little motivation to what's going. It's the most like, all right, let's just come up with something so we can set them on a European adventure kind of prompt out there. And it just sort of, it's really a nothing movie. I saw it this weekend and I have so little to say about it.
Yeah, I feel like I have even less because it's so bland. This man has made a version of this already when he was over on Apple. He did the one with the family, right? Was it called The Family Plan? Please don't tell me it was that generic.
I think it was The Family Plan.
Oh, my gosh, bro. Well, you know what? At least he's keeping it simple, right? It's forgettable but rememberable at the same time. Like you described, it's who hires their ex for an espionage mission? Would you even bring an ex on for a podcast reviewing movies? Like, why would you take them overseas?
If there's no
to fight what?
Yeah, there's absolutely no logic to it, and it's just because, like, well, he's Mark Wahlberg, so of course. Right. But like, if he's Mark Wahlberg, like, give him a bigger reason to be there. Have him, have a past where he was, a star wrestler and he can fight really well, or he was a really good archer in high school, so he knows how to take a shot. It never really makes sense, and it's so half-assed. And I think the funniest thing about it is, I don't know if you've heard the director talk about why they don't actually end up having a kiss in this movie. We have a Twister situation where the couple doesn't actually kiss.
Spielberg was in the edit for this one too?
He said Netflix told him to save it for the trilogy.
What? The trilogy of what?
Yeah, he apparently has 3 films in mind. The Union sequel, the Union multiverse.
They got to unionize at Netflix to make sure stuff like this doesn't happen. This has a line in the movie that says, Jersey James Bond. We're not getting a trilogy for this. We shouldn't even gotten the first one. What?
Yeah, exactly. It's dead on arrival. He said to Variety, you have to think of this as a 3-movie idea.
No. You have what? I can barely think of it as a 3-act structure.
It's barely a 3-minute idea.
Yo, did it even look like they were at any of these places? You know how we usually we put up with these because they're like, these people went on a vacation. Were they even in some of these places, dude? Are they even in half of the movie when it's their stunt doubles?
Yeah, it is so half-assed. It is so stitched together. It's one of those movies where the action, all the action beats, you can see the stunt double sort of waiting for their turn to get hit by Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah. Oh, that's so bad, bro. Yeah, no, there are just elements to this, and even outside of the action, you would think you're getting charismatic stars, right? At least they're supposed to have some sort of background. I heard Alina watch this movie in the background while I was editing during the weekend. So when I saw it last night, I could not believe that this was the horrendous dialogue I was hearing her listen to. There are sequences where it doesn't even look like they're in the same scene, and they deliver these lines the worst that some like YouTube reviewers say. Today I'm going to review a movie. The plot is, I could not believe how butchered this was. I don't think anyone cared about the script. They clearly didn't care about their performances. It's lit like a sitcom. The action's not that good, and they want a trilogy. This must have been made real cheap, bro. He says "pak the ka."
Yeah, no, that's the thing. He's the most Boston-sounding New Jersey dude I've ever heard of, and it's so funny because they get Dr. Melfi from The Sopranos to play his mom, and she's got a completely different accent than him.
Wait. No, it's not. That's who she was?
Her voice, it triggered instantly for me.
Why,
Trevor Adams
bro?
in the live stream says, this kind of similar to Ghosted, sounds like it has some parallels. This is the exact same movie as Ghosted, and Ghosted somehow might be better.
Damn, dude. Oh, that's bad. Someone, if we can pull up the tweet, maybe a post or something, someone said, you know what, leave it to Mark Wahlberg to go to bed, was it at 8 p.m. before a kindergartner, wake up at 4 before the world's ready, work out for 3 hours, all to deliver us? The Union on Netflix. I'm going 2 stars on this, bro, and that's even being nice. I'm giving it 2 stars because there's such a, I'm spoiling it, there's such a stupid scene where she has the guy who's evil in the movie. It's the dumbest twist. Halle Berry puts the gun up to his face. His boys put the guns up to her. And the guy's girlfriend goes, I'm out of the movie. Remember me now that you're telling me, remember me for the sequel. And she leaves with his goons. It's so bad. It's so bland.
Dumb.
And Jackie Earle Haley's in this movie.
Right.
Like,
shout out to
to
Rorschach. Where you been?
Yeah. Wow. You got Academy Award winner J.K. Simmons in this. Like,
yeah, it's not a half bad cast.
I don't get it. I look at this and I compare it to The Instigators from last week, which we thought was decent. They were starting to make that look like a masterpiece, bro. I'm happy that we didn't have to trudge out to theaters to see something like this, because back in the day, you and I have been doing this long enough, I would have given myself a flat tire. I would not have wanted to have gone to this, bro. Dude. You know what? It's almost thankful that this is coming out on streaming, because this would have been
the thing,
horrendous.
Right? And this is like, unfortunately, this is kind of what a lot of streaming has offered us, is these movies that are just not good enough for theaters. And there is the promise that like Netflix is going to put a bunch of money into it, and sometimes they hit. They really like. There's great Netflix movies. I'm not going to say that there aren't great Netflix movies, but there's also a lot of The Union.
Too much of The Union. I'm going 2 stars. You going lower?
I might go 1.5, but we can do an intercut 2-star on this one. It is
no, bro. I will drop it down to 1.5 too. I don't care. You ain't gotta convince me.
Let's do that.
That's terrible. Hey, is there the opposite of a heart? Should have like a knife on that bad boy.
Give it a fart.